This is part 2 of this episode. So, as I was saying, at the residential school for travel day, well, they declare the day after a, huge holiday such as, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, they declare that as a travel day, which means the students who come, on Sunday nights to school, because they go Sunday through Friday, and then they go home on Friday, and they get only the evening on Friday, and then only the day on Saturday, and then they go back on Sunday to school, which really, that schedule would suck if I was the one to go on Sundays, but I wasn't because I live so close to the school, or I live close enough to the school that I don't need to. So, yeah, I went at a residential school when they have travel days. For those that come on Mondays, they're off school that day. So, yeah, there's no classes don't start until 2 days after until the day after the travel day, the next day. They don't start until the next day after people get back to the dorms and that kind of thing. Because the people that are there on Mondays, don't come until the day after the travel day. So that's pretty much why it's like that. Whereas at a regular school, everybody would be back in class the day that our school has a travel day. So yeah, basically if those of you who are looking at a residential school for your kids with autism, take a look at how, your autistic kid would do in a residential setting. Now, it's making me want to talk about this as a topic because nothing really happened today, but yeah. Except for that it went without a hitch when my sister got on the bus to go to school. But anyway, like I was saying, if you're planning to put your kids in a residential school and you're looking into doing it, I would highly recommend looking at the autistic students' level and where they are academically. Could they do well in a regular class or in a self-contained class at a public school? Or would they do just fine in a residential school? You have to look into account of that. I would suggest trying your child in the public school before you decide whether or not that it's the best fit for that child, or if your child's more high functioning. If you have multiple kids and they both went to the same residential school, try your high functioning child and see how they do. Do kind of a little bit of an experiment. If they don't do very well in the residential school, then you can move them, back into the public school or whatever school you want to move them into. But if your teacher's abusive and the principal is not answering you, I would recommend looking for a different school for your kid. Another public school if your kid, is okay with going to a public school. That's basically, because a residential school, I was in a dorm with 6 or 7 other people, And we had staff, like, 3 staff, or sometimes 4, working with us. And it was, well, not chaotic, but yeah, it was nuts. So, just keep that in mind when you're sending your kids to a residential school, that the first few days of your child being there could be really hard. Pack their favorite things, their favorite clothes, their favorite toys, their favorite music and whatnot. Or like their tablets if they use a computer. And their communication devices, because those who need Dynavox and AAC and things and PEX and things like that better have those with them in the residential school setting. If the school asks for it, but even if they don't, you should still bring it. And if they refuse you to bring it, fight like an animal. That's what I gotta say. Thank you for joining me today, and I will talk to you guys later. I will post this later tonight or tomorrow. I may end up posting this tomorrow, I'm not sure. I could post this later tonight too. So yeah, I will talk to you guys later.